Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 555. That's the fake area code. Ben Askren astutely pointed out before the show. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined as always by Stephen Kyle Brackey to my direct right. He is the owner of the 3-0 Green Bay Packers.
That's right.
Congratulations to you.
Oh, they're 3-0? No way.
And
wow.
Joined by Ben Funky Askren, who was once sued by the Green Bay Packers.
Well, it was a cease and desist. You know?
Yeah, we stopped.
We just got to sensationalize it a little bit.
We dropped the suit.
Yeah, Kyle dropped the lawsuit. So he's just a wrestling coach. You know, let's throw him a bone here.
Cooler has prevailed.
Yes, that's good. That's a great conclusion there. Hey, wrestling stuff all around. It's coming. So much is happening. It's Who's Number One week. Ben is flying to Austin this week.
I am.
How excited are we right now?
I get to watch multiple Who's Number Ones because I'll be there for the grappling on Friday. Hopefully you'll let me in the venue, and then I'll also be there Saturday for the high school event. So it should be fun. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be out. It's gonna be so fun. And I talked to Tony Ramos yesterday. I was like, "Do you have someone to sit in your corner?" He's like, I'm working. He's like, "I'm working on it." He's like, "I might need someone."
He wants me to sit in his corner? Oh, damn.
I was like, Ben would do it.
But Nicky Ryan's really good, though. Does he know how good Nicky Ryan is? Listen, Christian, I'm not sure he knows how good Nicky Ryan is.
I think he knows. I think he knows.
Because I would have, at the very least, if I was Tony Ramos, I would have at the very least said no heel hooks, just straight up. Like we ain't playing that game.
He did.
I thought it was open rules.
He said that, and then they told him no, there will be heel hooks. So he's like, all right, well, I guess to do this, I have to allow heel hooks.
That's not good.
Credit to him for taking it. It's going to be difficult, but he's been the underdog before and prevailed. And honestly, a respectable result would be a win in my eyes, at least. Probably not his, but if he holds his own, that would say a lot for someone who's
that would
so
say
novice,
a lot,
right?
That would say a lot. Absolutely, that would say a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe he's ever done grappling competition before in his life. This is literally number one, and you're taking on Nicky Ryan, who's one of the best guys in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not. A respectable result would be very good.
I wouldn't do it.
Hey, Nicky Ryan called out Brackey. Brackey said, "No, I'm not interested."
I also heard that Rudis is going to sponsor Who's Number One. That's fantastic.
You heard correct.
I got my AC/DC shirt on.
Yes, when I think Rudis, I think rock and roll bands.
Well, they actually do. You know what? Rudis is one of the few wrestling brands that do something cool. They got Rocky, they got Marvel, which I don't get in the comics. They got AC/DC. I mean, they've done some really cool stuff where a lot of other wrestling brands have kind of not done that. And what's up?
Well, how they got all these different little lines. They got the wrestling and the
Yeah.
You got comics. You've got Sion Williams. He is the bridge for all this stuff. And has Rudis so much as paid Sion a phone call to get him involved? He can be very helpful.
I mean, Sion knows everybody. Sion has to know Tommy and Jesse. I mean,
I'm sure he knows Tommy.
The same weight class. They're roughly the same age. I
Different
think
dimensions.
There. Well, I mean, yeah,
Tommy's like a string bean
compared to Sion. Seriously. Hey, so did the kids get the swag packs where I know they've gotten that in past years? Because if they get it this year, they're going to be extra excited because Rudis actually has a whole bunch of cool gear for them, I'm sure.
Yeah, they are. There's boxes and boxes out front ready to be divvied up and distributed.
Do I get a swag pack? Because I know I got plenty of Rudis stuff, but I'm always excited to get a bunch of new gear.
Probably not. I don't think they sent. I mean, I think they just sent it for the kids. Maybe.
Why don't you just talk to them? I'm sure they'll make you
don't
more
you
stuff.
work for them? You have a lot clearer path to get Rudis gear than
Bracky,
we do.
did you get one?
I usually do not get one. No. Every now and then I'm able to swipe an extra shirt or pair of shorts that they send as extras, but usually no.
One time, a brand that is not Rudis sponsored something that was Flow, and they gave out a bunch of stuff, and then the next day they said, "Hey, you can't have any of this. Give it all back."
What?
Yeah.
When? Why?
It was between today and 12 years ago. I won't say who, when, or what.
No, but what? I don't even know who it was. I just want to know what the reason was.
Oh, the reason they were not supposed to give it out.
Hello.
They were like, yeah, we're not supposed to give this
What
out.
do you mean?
Well,
there's someone
extra
higher
stuff
up in the company. Someone up higher in the company came back and said, no, give it back, or what?
Yeah, there's like a miscommunication or something.
Oh my God,
it was pretty. It was kind of funny,
dude. That's the point where you got to eat it. Once you give something out, you can't take it back. That ain't right.
I claim no takebacks. It did not hold up. It didn't matter.
You should have made them fight you for it. They wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, they don't want those problems. That's for sure. I am feared by all. Hey, I forgot to mention before we get to who's number one. The 8-man is full. It is full. We have our final four. We didn't announce that till after FRL, I believe. I don't even remember.
It was Friday.
Typical Friday news job.
No, I didn't like the Friday news dump for good news, but that's just the way it worked out. So the final four have been announced. It's Keith Gavin, Miles Martin, Shakur Rashid, and Taylor Lujan. Then your initial reaction.
Well, I already called it on Twitter. I called the old guys. Got Gavin versus Dean in the finals, baby. I mean, this is unless we do the way the show where they get to pick their opponents and they somehow end up on that same side, then that won't be the case. But other than that, I'm cheering for the old guys. Let's go, oldies.
I've only talked to you and one other person, and we all three feel the same that Keith and Gabe are going to be our picks.
Wow.
And here's my thought. I feel like Gabe Dean, we know he's still very much in his athletic prime. He just happened to retire quite young from competition. But for Keith Gavin, I don't know if you guys really know Keith, or I don't claim to know him that well, but for him to throw his hat in the ring says a lot, because this is a very humble, down-to-earth guy. So to me, for him to just entertain the thought says Keith is still very much wrestling really, really well. That's how I took him throwing his hat in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's like 1 year younger than me, right? Because I wrestled him when he was a junior and I was a senior. So he's 35. He's not super young, but he competed quite a while.
Through 16.
And through 16, right? So he would have been that's 4 years ago. 31 when he kind of hung it up. He was always really competitive, always really high up on the chart, made a team or two. Yeah, I would say he's still competitive. And, when I see this field, he's got some really good tricks. And I think some of these guys might fall for some of his tricks.
I think he's so savvy, and his game was never about athleticism. It was always about tactics and position and being really slick. And I think against a lot of these guys, he's going to have an advantage. Now, I think that the pecking order, as I see it, well, it's interesting because I would say probably Gavin, Gabe, Miles, Martin, but Sammy Brooks, low-key has never lost to Miles Martin, to my knowledge. I think he's beaten him every time.
Never lost to Miles Martin.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting wrinkle where I think everyone would probably pick Miles to finish higher. If they hit head-to-head, that's a really interesting wrinkle.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't really know what Miles versus Keith or Miles versus Gabe looks like. I could see. I
think that's a tough matchup for Gabe or for Keith against Gabe Dean.
No. I'm Miles Martin versus Keith and Miles Martin versus Gabe.
I know what it looks like against Gabe Dean. Traditionally, he's beaten him soundly when they've wrestled.
Yeah. So, are we actually gonna do the Pick'em show, Christian, or are we?
I'm open.
We need them.
I need two things. I was just gonna ask you off air, but I'll just ask you right now. One,
more fun.
We have to do a test where you run it as the thing, right? Like a test.
Let's do it this Friday.
Okay, yeah.
I'm in town.
Yeah, we'll do it while you're in town. We'll get the gang together. We'll do it then. But two, I feel like I need you to make sure the guys are on board. They want to do it. They'll be excited about it. They're not just gonna, I could see some of them not being all that intrigued by this idea.
Well, I mean, but here's the simplicity of the idea, and this is something wrestling people struggle with. Okay. And listen, if it doesn't do well, right? Christian, I said, if it does well, we just keep doing it, right? If it doesn't do well, then we just don't do it again. And ideally, we'll be doing a bunch of these. Here's what wrestling people need to understand. If this does well, we will do it again and again and again and again. If it does poorly, we will not do it again. And so you think what total prize money is $41,500, right? Is total prize money. So you're going to put $41,500 into the pot for these wrestlers to grab in some way, shape, or form. Now, if you could do that a whole bunch of times per year, that's going to add up to a lot of money. If you can't do that, so essentially what they're doing if they don't want to promote this is they're taking money out of their own pockets, right? I mean, Flo is ideally going to make money off the venture also. That's how business works. But wrestlers, there's no one else throwing tournaments every other weekend for $41,500. I mean, right. It's in their best interest to try to promote it. And if they don't realize that, then man, that's something wrestling people need to figure out.
Well, I don't think that liking this idea and promoting it are mutually exclusive. You might not think this is the greatest way to pick the bracket, and they would prefer, hey, what do we rail all the time about UWW seating, right? And the random draw, and that, we don't like that Chimizo's
well, up for a world title.
Well, I mean, listen, in there are many years a world title wasn't worth $20,000. So I mean,
I don't think it ever is it?
Well, in America it is.
Well, that's charity.
Okay, well,
this is business.
Call it what you want, the business. Yeah. So I mean, there's real. Yeah, it's not for a world title. It's for something that is materially really important to people. So you start messing around with that, it may not be appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, I think the wrestling community struggles to understand that idea of promotion and business and what makes money, and that if it does make money, companies are going to invest more money into it. People really struggle to that, and they need to get it. It's it's like when you're coaching a wrestler, Christian, and they can't get out of the effing leg ride. And you know what? Doing it in practice is miserable. But listen, if you want to get better, if you want to succeed, you're gonna get in there and get leg ridden, so you figure out how to get out of it. It's really that simple.
We're going to give you their information. You're going to get these guys fired up for the idea. We're going to test it. Then we're going to do it. I'm committed to doing it. I'm committed to trying it. Okay? So we'll see what brackets we wind up with. It would be fun to, seed it as well, but we won't do that because then that'll be even stranger.
Seeding this would actually be kind of hard to get something reasonable, Christian. So actually, this is a really good one because, Keith and Gabe haven't competed against most of these guys. And so where you're actually going to put those two in the bracket, I think would be very contentious. If you put them 1-2, which I think you could very much make the argument to put them 1-2, but I believe that would be very contentious with the other guys.
Guys like Lujan and Shakur have very limited freestyle ledgers, to my knowledge.
Yeah. But a guy like Nate Jackson and Miles Martin, who've had some reasonable, they haven't won the U.S. Open or anything, but they've had some reasonable freestyle success recently. Same with Sammy Brooks. And so, if you say, but Gabe's a two-time NCAA champion and Keith was a world team member, so we're going to put them number 1 and 2. But if I'm one of those other guys I mentioned, but they're freaking old and they haven't wrestled in a while, they don't get to go number 1 and 2. This is crap. That's what I'm saying. Yes,
there would definitely be. You wouldn't be able to seed it perfectly. That's for sure. You wouldn't be able to have a criteria. Okay. Senior Nationals won, apparently, according to Kyle Brackey, as of this morning, as of whenever, Senior Nationals is +2?
I did not make this ruling. USA Wrestling announced this later in the week, last week. I'm trying to find the tweet.
Why did they wait this long to do it? I mean, we're very literally 2 weeks out of the competition, less than 2 weeks out of the competition. They've had it announced for a while. Why did they just decide to do +2? That's ridiculous.
I think maybe to get more entries.
I think that's what it was.
You really think that gets more entries?
Well, I don't know. What other reason would it be?
I think people would be pretty pumped about getting +2 kilos.
People are saying I'm not going to wrestle over 4 pounds? Come on, you chickens.
I don't know. 57 kilograms, 4.4 goes a long way. That's a lot of chicken, in fact.
If you were on the fence about it, this could swing it.
I guess. I don't know. It just seems unprofessional for me to announce that you're going to have a U.S. Open, which is allegedly supposed to be a prestigious event. And then 2 weeks out from it, you're going to say, nah, we're changing the weight classes. We're going to give you 2 kilograms.
Am I incorrect that the Open had allowances at different points in time?
To my knowledge, the Open always was scratch. I don't remember a time when there was an allowance on it. I could be wrong. I didn't weigh in every year. I didn't pay attention every year, so I could be wrong.
You did satellite weigh-ins a couple times?
No, I mean, I didn't wrestle. I didn't go. I wasn't coaching anyone,
I know. But more people have entered. It's looking fairly interesting. I've got it pulled up here. So Vito, Zane, Pirelli, Jacob Camacho, Brandon Courtney, Jackson Hinson kind of round out 57. Obviously, seeing Vito back in the mix is good. He's had a pretty busy off season, wrestling at our event, and then it beat the streets.
Yep.
He didn't wrestle. Beat the streets.
Oh, that's right. He didn't.
Scheduled to.
Scheduled.
Yeah.
That's right. He got hurt. I guess he's not hurt or super hurt, which is nice. 65, McKenna, Henderson, Dean Heil, Luke Pletcher, Sean Foss. Happy to see him eating. Earl Hall, Nick Dardanes, Yaya Thomas. Carter Young, high schooler, in the mix. Wow. Not the only high schooler we'll see either.
No. He's he's on the big board, committed to Northwestern at the moment.
Nice. 74, Anthony Valencia, Ryan Deacon, Evan Wick, Hayden Hiley, Joey LaValle, Colin Purinton, AC Headley, and Quentin Perez, and Patty Gallagher. How about that? You can wrestle who's number one in senior nationals.
Back-to-back weekends, right?
Yes.
Who's he? Because Kyle Valencia is wrestling Facundo. Who's Gallagher wrestling?
Mastro Giovanni.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one. Nice.
Yes. 86.
Yeah,
go ahead.
So with these high school guys, obviously, usually, you almost never see that because there's a junior open going on at a similar time frame. Right, they're usually side by side at the in Vegas.
Yeah.
Man, but with my guys, I've been really thinking about this because Wisconsin, they're going to allow a maximum of quads this year. And so I've really been pushing my guys. We need to go get more matches this fall. You guys need to find competition opportunities. So I like that these guys are hopping in this event. Worst case, they get some experience. Best case, they show out and they beat a couple older guys.
Yeah, I mean, Patty's someone that's not going to get physically overwhelmed. I don't think he'll get out skilled. And, there will be some stronger guys there, but he's not. He's a pretty physically imposing high school kid. What's Keegan's plan? Do you know what he's going to do is he going to try to make a world team?
I believe he's also in the junior trials.
Nice. That'll be good. Mm-hmm. 74, I guess?
I don't know if he's got bigger. I think he was, when it was in April, he was planning on doing 70. I don't know if he's gotten bigger. And I would say when he left for college, it was going to be 70. I haven't talked to him about weight class specifically since he was gone.
All right. Mm-hmm. Got it. Noted. Okay. 86. This may be the most loaded one. Miles Martin, Gabe Dean, Max Dean, David McFadden. He's eating good in Philadelphia. My goodness. Hunter Bolin, Trent Hidley. Does that interest you at all? Benjamin Askren.
Well, it's interesting. Listen, Drew Foster and Taylor Lujan are going to wrestle in this also. They're just from right up the road. That's going to happen. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more entries. Yeah. I mean, come on, they're an hour away. Why wouldn't they? If they don't wrestle, listen,
it's in Iowa City. Have you? How many Iowa Hawkeyes do you see registered?
They're going to wrestle. If they don't wrestle, listen, you need don't make me start going off. I went off of you guys. You can practice all you want. At the end of the day, you need some competition to get better. Now, you don't need to, this is where you don't need, as a third grader, you don't need to get 100 matches. But if you're a high school kid, if you're just making your debut or, transition at senior level, you need to get some matches. Right? You need to get some real competition. You haven't had, none of these guys we've had a total of 20 wrestling matches in the last 7 months. I mean, very literally 20 wrestling matches total. There have not been a lot. If these guys want to get better, competing is part of getting better, 100%. And so, yes, they do need to compete because then we go, okay, well, after this, what do they got? Okay, well, some of them could do U23s and junior trials. There's no open tournaments. There's nothing till January 1st. I mean, so what? They're going to get 10 matches from freaking March to December 31st. That's a 9-month window where you're going to get a total of possibly 10 matches. They need to wrestle.
Less for your red shirts too, because they can't do anything. If you're not,
you mean after January,
right?
Yeah,
right.
I mean those guys are gonna be doing nothing, right? That'll be like a whole year, Christian, where they get 10 matches.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, they haven't registered yet. I don't know. They're going register.
I mean, I thought I heard, and I don't try to get too involved in the lives of my AWA kids that go to college, but I thought I heard Parker was going to wrestle, and that obviously that's a Northern Iowa guy, and right up the road. Not a big trip, just cruise on down there and go.
Yeah. Well, as far as 86 goes, this is a really, I mean, Gabe Dean. What is he? Is he like, all right, I want to really wrestle, or do you think he's like, maybe I'll see if I can come back, or is this just I need a tune-up because I really want to win $20,000?
I think that's it. I think he wants to win some $20,000, so he wants to get warmed up and ready to rumble.
I love it.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is.
I love it.
Yeah,
that's great. Get a little sneak peek at Gabe Dean. Hopefully he avoids his brother. Don't want to see brothers wrestle each other. Although that is kind of juicy. Remember when the Paulsons had to wrestle at something? I can't remember if it was an open.
They forfeited to each other. Didn't they forfeit to each other?
One time they finally had to wrestle. I forget what it was.
Really?
Yes, I think they wrestled.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Could be wrong. I think Trent won. But
really?
I think so.
Oh, I'm curious what they would have wrestled at. Why they would have actually had to compete against each other.
At some point, I mean, Travis was trying to go 66.
No, Trent was 66. Travis never went 66.
Okay, one of them. Listen, I get them mixed up sometimes.
Trent did go 66. Didn't he make a world team in 66?
Yes.
Well, they had to wrestle because they made the World Team Trials Challenge Finals in 2010.
2010. Didn't you wrestle in this one in 2010?
Yeah, but they weren't the same weight. I thought he wrestled Trent and Andrew.
74 kilos.
Yeah, we're watching the match, Ben.
I'm watching it.
Sorry.
They're twins wrestling each other.
Okay. They look the same. One has slightly longer hair.
That's the challenge finals, and then in the final, one of them wrestled Howe or no?
In 2010, I think that's who it would have been. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because those guys. I mean,
absolutely not.
From the Midwest. So the Northern Plains, those guys were doing it. Those guys were doing the forfeit thing to each other, since we were kids, right? Like 15, 16-year-old cadet Northern Plains, I believe one of them forfeited the other one in the finals or something.
Closeouts.
I think Travis won.
Yeah. So it was, so they had to wrestle in this one. So that happened. Okay, but Gabe and Max are not identical twins. David McFadden, he's up there. Trent, man, I think this is a fireweight for sure. And if you get Lujan and Foster in the mix here.
Did you ever picture David McFadden as being big for 165? Because I didn't really ever picture that.
No. Well, he went 74.
But didn't he get bumped up by Mackay?
Yes.
I thought he was forced to go up, not he wanted to go up.
That's what I said. What? I said he beat him.
I know, and he doesn't remember.
Tell him.
What?
Travis literally beat you to set up the match with Trent, and you don't remember?
Oh, yeah. Travis beat me. Yes.
I know. I just find it funny that you don't remember.
Well, I think I left that tournament when I lost. I'm pretty sure I left. I literally fought in the Bellator tournament final 5 days after that event. So I think when I lost to Travis, I think I got in my car and I drove back to Kansas City because I had to weigh in 3 days later.
Oh my God.
So I literally don't think I stayed to watch the final because I think I had Nick Marable I brought Nick Marable in to train. So for that 2010, I had the Bellator semi, it was the tournament. So you did three matches in 3 months. So I had the semifinal in May, May 20 or whatever. And then that was June 10. And I think the final was June 15. So I paid for Nick Marable to come in and train with me to get ready for the World Team Trials. And then when I lost to Travis, I would have had to wrestle Nick in the wrestle back because I just said, hey, Nick, I'm not going to wrestle you. You can have it. I'm probably not gonna wrestle ever again, and I didn't wrestle ever again. And I think I'm almost 100% certain that I just left and I went to Kansas City because I had to fight like 4 days later. No, 5 days later.
Yeah, I remember you put something out afterwards. I don't know if it was in an interview or you wrote something down. Like I now know I can't just, if I want to really wrestle, I have to be full time into it. I can't just show up.
Yeah, you can't. You can't be part time and win at the highest levels.
But you thought you could up till that point. You thought it was a possibility, right?
Youthful arrogance, right? I mean, that's why. That's like when Pico says he's going to do it. I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm not so like. I made a team, right? I made a team in 2008, and I was wrestling. I wasn't wrestling every day, but I was in the room very frequently, and I was wrestling quite a bit. And I thought, hey, I can go. I beat these guys before. I can go back and make the team, and I couldn't do it. And so, when Pico says he's going to do it, or some of these other guys that are in MMA say they do it, I'm like, maybe. I don't want to say it's impossible, but I just don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, very tough.
Yeah, there's a difference. I mean,
Travis went on to beat Hal.
Yeah, he made the team that year, right?
Mm-hmm.
What year did Hal make the team? Did he never make a team?
He might have said never. He never made it because Dustin Slater made it in 2009.
Yes, and then 11 was JB. 8. So Hal never made a team. Yeah, I thought he made. I thought he made the team in 10. He lost to Paul.
He made three finals in a row then because he made 10, 11, and 12. He was in the finals every year, right?
Yeah. Who was in the finals in 9? Wasn't he?
No, it was either him or Paulson lost to Slater. I think Paulson lost to Slater in 09.
That was it. Paulson Slater made that team he won every ball draw. It was just like 4.
That was crazy, wasn't it?
4 scoreless periods, and he won the ball draw every time. I'm pretty sure I'm remembering that correctly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
On time.
Yeah, I was second in 2010, 11 World Team Trials, and then lost to Burroughs in the Olympic Trials in 2012.
Man.
Wow.
What a beast.
Close. Hey, so this guy in the chat who I don't know if he's in validity, but he says Brands will not send any of his kids that are still in college per U of Iowa guidelines. So is there a specific guideline that says that college kids can't wrestle in this tournament, or what's he citing?
I don't know, but
it's probably a school by school decision, honestly.
Aren't they wrestling in their thing? Ironman's wrestling.
It could be like on their campus though.
Was because it's
no, that's not on their campus. They're both at the same venue. They're both at that new one that they got down at.
Oh well, then that makes no sense.
They're both in the same town.
How would that make any sense at all?
Are they gonna wrestle? So far, they've announced Kimmer and Ironman are wrestling Tommy Gant and Kinchikashvili, but so those are college guys.
Multiple college kids.
Yeah, that guy might have made up.
What's he talking about?
He might have made it up, or maybe he heard rumor mill or something. I don't know, but it doesn't make sense that, or maybe it's true. I believe it doesn't make sense that one would be in violation of University of Iowa guidelines and the other wouldn't.
So Ben Johnson's now saying can't wrestle till November 1st because it's a college.
And that's their events in November, so maybe it's that.
But that's not true because college guys have been wrestling and are wrestling at senior nationals in 2 weeks.
But one thing we do know, reattack, every school has different rules because all the rules are fake and made up. It's literally, what's that show?
Whose line is
it anyway? That's NCAA rules.
Wait,
rules are made
what
up.
What happens in that show?
So it's like an improv comedy show, and they give out. Drew Carey hosted it. I used to watch it.
It was hilarious.
I loved it. And anyways, one of the mottos or the themes, they said, "Welcome to Whose Line Is It Anyway?" Where the points are made up and
they don't matter.
The scores don't matter or whatever. And basically, they would give out points for who was funnier, basically. But so basically, that's how NCAA rules are enforced. They're just kind of made up. Points don't matter.
Yeah,
rules don't matter.
I mean,
just
you would think you'd at least be able to cite hey, there's 17 college guys that wrestled in this event right over here. Why can't we do it?
Yeah.
The show where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Everything's made up and the points don't matter. That is NCAA rules.
Yeah, because now this is multiple events that college guys have wrestled in.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Wow. Okay. So Northern Iowa, someone maybe got to their compliance director and said they're good to go. We don't know. Could be anything.
Yeah, this is wild.
Well, I thought it was I guess because it's not qualifying for world championships, even though it's a senior nationals. Is that good? I mean, because that was a rule that you guys cited when we were talking about it a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't qualify you for anything, so that doesn't help.
That could be part of it.
Why didn't USA Wrestling just say it's a qualifier and then just not go? That's simple. Solves everyone's issue.
What do you mean? How could it be a...
Well, USA Wrestling just pulls one over the NCAA's eyes and says, this is a qualifier for the World Championships, and then we're good for everyone to wrestle.
I don't see USA Wrestling doing that. That doesn't seem
I don't see why not.
It doesn't seem smart. Seems sort of...
What do you mean? It's an outstanding idea. The NCAA's
no, because then rules.
USA Wrestling...
Other guys would be like, no, you told the NCAA this was a qualifier for me to get in the Olympic trials, so now you have to let me in the Olympic trials.
That's how you get our boy Eric Hinckley in the dang Olympic trials.
Stop it.
I'm saying.
Stop picking on Eric.
Yeah.
Listen.
My man's in the chat this morning.
I know he is. Good morning to Eric.
He didn't know about the 2 kilo. I made his day.
Oh man. I don't know where to go now.
Apologize.
I'm not sorry. Listen, I don't want to create I want the best of the best at the Olympic trials. And
he is the best of the best.
And if he proves that, then I'll be happy to have him in. But I don't want some backdoor channel because they put out something that said it's a qualifier and it's not a qualifier, and then, next thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I would just say, listen, we're going to do the World Championships in Serbia or some crap, and then just say, oh, sorry, we can't go. And then we're golden because everyone can wrestle. I think that's a pretty smart move.
All right.
You can't double stamp a triple stamp.
You cannot. That's true. And that's probably in the NCAA rulebook as well. All right. Brief news. Didn't know about this till it's kind of slipped under the radar. Manny Rivera steps down at Cal State Bakersfield. Luke Smith named the interim coach. That threw me off a little bit there. This is not a good time to step down from
Don.
Well, no, it's actually not bad. So I reached out to my buddy Luke Smith. Luke and I have been friends for a very, very long period of time. I think freshman, sophomore year in high school, somewhere around there. And he said that Manny has a really good opportunity for business back in Minnesota, and so him and his family are moving back to Minnesota, and something he couldn't pass up. Yeah, so that's what he told me. So he's getting named the interim head coach. He's hoping to be named, the full-time head coach. I think they're going through some type of interview process.
So Luke Smith also went to Central Michigan, like the other Luke Smith. Yes. That's not this Luke Smith.
Yes, there were 2 Luke Smiths right in the same era, also.
Yes. Yeah. Very interesting.
That was bizarre. It was very bizarre. Now, Lightning Luke Smith, he was a little 112-pounder, 103-pounder, jacked up, pinned everyone in a 3/4 Nelson in high school. Good at Greco and freestyle. I believe he won a Fargo title. If not, he was in the finals. I don't remember which style, though, freestyle or Greco.
Okay.
Yeah. Exciting.
So, all right. Who's number 1 week? Ben, you've been studying up. I've been studying up because I'm going to be calling these matches. Been watching a ton of matches. Curious for some of the ones you want to talk about specifically.
Well, the 3 that I really watched were Kyle and Facundo, Mendez and Jordan Williams, and Figueroa and Drake Al were the 3 that I kind of watched a whole bunch of those guys. So those would be the 3. I made an excuse to you guys last week that usually, these guys who are in this event, I will see a lot of them between the UWW cadets, UWW juniors, Fargo, junior duels. I'll see a lot of them. So by the time we get to who's number 1, I have a good idea of, what these guys do. And I didn't get any of that this year. So, I had to watch them film.
Yes. So let's start with Facundo Kyle, because that's going to be the headliner, the final match. Let's start with the heat. In your, I want to compare notes. What are your thoughts on this matchup? Okay. What do you think it comes down to?
They wrestled at the 2019 USA Folk Style National Finals, and it was a 1-point match. But And I vaguely remember seeing it. I think I was coaching also, kind of slightly paying attention. But Facundo was close to a whole bunch of takedowns. He was the aggressor in the match. He got close to a handful of takedowns. I don't really believe Kyle got close to a takedown, maybe a little bit at the end. And so, man, I think there's just too many attacks from Facundo. He's just too solid with his positioning that I think he gets a W. Obviously, that's been 18 months now, so maybe Kyle's made some really strong improvements, and we just haven't seen those yet.
Yeah, I think there's a few areas where Facundo could match up really well. Like I've seen other opponents against Kyle wrestle him really well with an underhook, and Facundo will use a right side underhook sometimes to set up his single leg. I think he could have good success there. I think Kyle, he is he likes to operate from space and kind of shoot under and ask questions later, and I don't see that being a recipe for finishing against Facundo personally. I think the mat is probably a wash. So I think it comes down to, and I think Facundo is a much cleaner finisher of leg attacks, right? But his attacks,
he did struggle the first time. He only finished one takedown in that first match.
But one thing is, where the attack is basically coming. You know which side is coming. He could hit the duck to the right side, but basically the 80%, 90% of his attacks are that single leg. So
yeah,
Kyle has a decent defense that could really stop him, but I think Facundo has more consistent offense, and I think that's gonna serve him in this match. I think it's probably a 1-2 takedown match. I don't see this being a shootout type of thing. I think it's a controlled victory for Facundo. But man, Kyle, the match that gives me pause in my prediction is Kyle's win over Gallagher at Doc B. I thought.
Did you watch Kyle versus Gallagher at Fargo? I watched that one too.
No. That match was like one of the best matches of the tournament.
It was wild, but Kyle crapped the bed. He was up 11-7 with criteria with like 50 seconds left. And Gallagher got, I think it was 3 takedowns in the last 50 seconds to win the match.
Yeah, so
right? Is that right, Kyle?
Yeah. You're right.
Yep. I remember that now that you bring it up. I don't remember. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't think Peso would become as much of a factor as it did in that match. It's my opinion. I don't know if Facundo's going to bring him to that place.
I don't feel like Gallagher gassed him out. I feel like, and this happens a lot in freestyle because points can be scored so quickly, is that Kyle just felt like, I got the lead, I'm in charge, I just got to not F this up. And then by doing that, you give him one takedown, and then all of a sudden, now there's 30 seconds left, and you're up by 2 points. And you don't see what I'm saying? And it kind of just snowballs. Because you could, in freestyle, you could score 6 points really quickly. And that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and rewatch that one because it's definitely been a while. Okay.
The other thing, let me ask you this question about Kyle, because I don't know the exact answer. I will tell you this: one Flow Nationals, Mr. Valencia Ruben, said, "Listen, Ben, I want to buy you a beer. I want to sit down and talk about this crap you've been talking about on Facebook about kids getting better later." And I said, "Well, I don't drink, but I'd love to sit down and chat with you." So we sat down, and he said, they're only gonna be good if they can win Tulsa when they're 8 or something crazy like that, because Anthony and Zahid both did. I defended my point of view, which is that they can get better much later. And we went round and round. I didn't prove anything to him. He didn't prove anything to me. We had a good conversation. It was a lot of fun. He's a smart guy. And then like 2 years later, he goes, "Ben, I take back everything I said because Kyle just started wrestling. And he's already like, top 5 in the country." And so, he didn't start wrestling till, I want to say 7th or 8th grade. Is that correct? I mean, you guys followed that age. Kyle didn't start wrestling. That was what he said. Ruben said to me. He didn't start wrestling till much later. And so if that is true, and that's what I'm pretty sure that I heard, if that is true, then the trajectory could be different, right? The fact that we haven't seen him in 9 months, he could, if he's going like this, it could be a big jump since March. We haven't seen him since March. It could be a huge jump since then.
That's a good point. I don't know. I
don't know when he started wrestling, but he has taken big jumps. I think couple years ago at Fargo, I'm not sure he placed in freestyle. And so he's made big strides in a pretty quick period of time.
He's got he reminds me more of Anthony than Zahid, the way he wrestles. He's got that slide by that Anthony hits really consistently. It's really nice. But yeah, if he's only been competing since 7th grade, that's pretty insane. And now he's, the number one guy in the country. Certainly in that category.
Yeah.
What's the other interesting thing is, where the heck's this kid going to go to school? He's got
he can't visit anywhere because the NCAA's got it shut down.
It'd be tough to narrow it down. Maybe he'll come to UT. He's going to visit UT.
You'd have to think that Arizona State's the front runner, wouldn't you?
I don't know. If they were the front runner, wouldn't those kids? Well, think about this, man. Well, both his brothers went there, and then Richie committed really early. Kate Olivas committed really early. The fact that he hasn't yet, and is kind of my thought.
Well, Zahid's still there, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think it helps Arizona State that Richie Figueroa can't visit anywhere else?
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps.
He has 2 visits left.
I was there in Columbus when he visited Ohio State, so he did a full thing then. So he's at least been there. That was last fall.
Has he been to State College?
No.
He has not.
I do not believe so, no.
Keep him out of there. Do not let Kale in his presence.
I believe he's been to Arizona State, Michigan, and Ohio State.
For other college wrestling coaches, Kale's probably like that guy. You know that one guy that was on your college team that always was like, dude, don't leave your girlfriend alone around that dude.
He's the boogeyman.
That dude will try to pull some moves on your girlfriend.
Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yeah, Mr. Steal Your Commit. Mr. Steal Your Verbal. He don't care. He's coming. Yeah. I mean,
he really is.
He's the best in the game by far. He's the best recruiter there is. And, yeah, until he'll have the last word, I'm sure. He'll have an opportunity.
How? He can't go there. Pigs can't go to Penn State.
He'll figure it out.
Are they going to meet behind a mountain in Utah or something, or what?
January 2nd.
January 2nd? They're going to let him recruit in January?
No, right now the dead period ends January 1.
So January.
But isn't there a mandatory dead period in the middle there somewhere anyways?
Well, that could be amended now. In light of the whole thing.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if they change things up. But I mean, Figueroa could sign in November, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Here's my thought. Richie's got probably a full boat waiting for him wherever he wants to go, right? He's going to have the options. So he doesn't need to sign on the dotted line for anywhere.
Correct.
And he's been very adamant. He's been very adamant about taking his visits. It's important to him. He wants to, weigh his options intelligently. So I don't think he's going to make a decision anytime soon. I mean, a final decision, right? He wants to take his visits. So if that's in January, he'll make his decision then, right? That's my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, except unless the money runs out, right? I mean, there's a decent chance people could just not have any more money. That's a real thing.
I think the ones are going to have a good feeling that if they're in the sweepstakes for Richie, it feels like Arizona State, Ohio State, Penn State.
Let me ask you a question about this. I don't know this portion of the rule, Christian. Okay. For the NCAA, so let's just theoretically speaking, you're at your 9.9, right? With whoever you have already signed and whoever you have coming back for the following year, right? So right now we're in 2020, 2021. So for next fall of 2021, I'm already at my 9.9. Can I guarantee you, Christian Piles, a scholarship, a full ride, which would put me at 10.9 next fall, and figure out how to get rid of one scholarship before they actually got to step on campus? Or am I not allowed to do that?
I don't think you're allowed to do that.
So you can't promise more than you have and figure out how to get rid of them later?
No. And honestly, I think they got more restrictive on how you can take kids' aid away. You used to be able to come up with
that's for sure.
they used to be able to come up with some BS reasons and kick them down a little bit, but you can't really do that anymore.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, it's good for athletes.
Yeah, you can't do it for performance reasons, I'm pretty sure.
Correct.
Which is kind of crazy. The whole reason you're there is that you will hopefully perform, but at the same time, that's so nebulous, and they committed. So you rolled the dice, and you gotta make them perform.
Huh? Are you sure about the? I mean, I'm very curious now. I don't know why I've never thought of that scenario, like where I would, say this November with all my signees coming back, I'd be at 11, and then in the next 12 months, I got to figure out how to get rid of 1.1 of the scholarships.
I'm pretty sure you sign our 4 or 5 year agreements, right? So it's not
correct, but I'm not. But if they leave school, they're not getting a scholarship,
right? But I don't think you can promise aid that you don't have to give, in my opinion. I don't know. I've never been in this situation to make that decision, but
yeah,
I don't.
I'm very curious.
I'm just thinking how it works. That's my opinion. I don't know. I'm sure there's coaches listening. Just text me and tell me what the rule is.
I mean, I'm sure that there's a rule on that, correct? Because obviously, if you didn't have a rule against it, I would think you would not be able to promise something you can't. Where you put you over the limit, because then you would be incentivized to maybe do something to make a kid quit, or do something to that effect. And that would obviously be a bad scenario.
That would definitely happen in college wrestling as well.
Oh yeah,
that would happen. So, I think it's good that rule probably exists that we just made up, but we think it's real. Okay, so we were talking about Figueroa. Let's talk about his match against Drake Ayala. Give your overall thoughts on that one, Ben.
After watching it, I just feel like Figueroa is going to be a little too. I feel like he's a little more mature, a little more powerful. Ayala still looks kind of a lot younger to me. Great shots from the outside, but Figueroa doesn't really come out of position, doesn't give those opportunities. So I think he stops those outside shots. I think he scores from short offense. I just think he's a little more powerful, a little better positioning, and that doesn't mean long term he's going to be a better prospect. I'm not sure about that, but just for right now, Figueroa is better in my opinion.
I don't know. I watch Figueroa, and I'm like, this is a kid that's going to explode once he gets to college. I feel like.
Do
you think he's like a finished product right now, or?
No, I'm not saying that, and I'm not making a judgment. I don't know him. I don't know his work ethic. I don't know how much he loves wrestling. I don't know any of those things. But watching him, he's just like a little more. Like when you see some immature high school kids, and you're like, okay, well, at some point when he gets 19 or 20, he's going to put on some muscle and he's going to be a little more powerful.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm commenting on more than anything.
Yeah, I think I watch him, and so much of his. Not so much. A lot of his neutral offense is just really safe, throw by, slide by stuff. He doesn't have to attack the leg all that much.
Yes.
But the leg attacks he does have are really good. His ankle pick's excellent. And I just think he's just going to get more diverse with his leg attacks. I really like his positioning and his speed. I think his most underrated position, or maybe he's so good on top, that I don't think Ayala can go under this guy. I think it would be unwise for Drake. I don't think he should go under. I don't. I think he should keep it neutral. I think Drake Ayala wants to win with his pace and leg attacks, and to do that, you can't roll the dice going under this guy. I think he's that good.
Yeah. You know what? I guess now that I'm thinking, I don't think I watched any Figueroa folk style match. I mean, I know I've seen him. Who's number one? But I think I watched 4 matches. A bunch of them were the Jordan Williams matches. I think they were all freestyle though, so I didn't get to see much of his top game.
Watch some of it. He's tough on top. I mean, he rode Steve-O really tough. Bracky, we were talking about this morning.
Yeah, he should not go under whatsoever.
Okay.
Whether he can turn you, but I don't know if he'll turn on y'all, but he'll at least, I believe, ride him out and just chew up clock. And that's not what you want if you're Ayala, because you want to be up on your feet and pushing the pace. Also, Richie trying to become the first wrestler in Who's Number One history to win 3 matches at the event. No one has ever done that. And some really good guys have been in it 3 times, like Dayton Fix. This is Alex Facundo's 3rd time.
Who did
Cruz
Dayton
only
lose?
got one win, though, right?
Soriano.
Dayton lost to Soriano.
What about some of even the guys that you've had in the 4-man brackets? None of them have won 3 matches because you've done that. You guys have done the 4-man brackets.
So Mendez will have a chance to get to 3.
Yeah, if he wins, I guess. Yeah.
But he'll be 3.
But I don't think anyone else, because I think Seth Gross won the first 4-man. But I don't think he didn't wrestle in it multiple years.
I thought Stroker won that.
Maybe Stroker beat Gross in the finals. Hang on.
I'm pretty sure Stroker won the 4-man, but I could be incorrect.
You guys keep talking.
It was only 7 years ago.
I don't remember that far back. I actually, when you guys said Seth Gross wrestled who's number 1, I thought like, damn, it's been going on that long for real.
Yeah. He's looking it up right now.
But then, I mean, there was a few other 4-mans. Like, didn't Chad Red wrestle the 4-man? Or am I thinking?
Chad, but that was no. He beat who'd he beat?
Fletcher?
He beat Lamont, and then he beat Fletcher, and that's where Fletcher beat Yanni.
Yes,
if you recall.
Yeah,
but that was the only time that Chad was in who's number 1 though. So
okay, got it.
That was his only chance.
Stroker won. He beat Seth Gross 4-3, and then Michael Kimmer 3-1.
Jeez,
wow,
it's a solid day at the office for Freddie. So funny. Graham, college recruiting is really hard. Also, you got to beat.
Why? Could you recruit Stroker?
Well, I don't know. I mean, those guys were just, he won here.
He was good.
He was peers. He was right there with Chenzo, and he beats Kimmer. He beat Kimmer multiple times, I think. He beat Kimmer at Fargo, I know, after his senior year. It's just, and it didn't work out. I like Freddie a lot, but I thought he was gonna have a really good college career, at least on par or comparable to. And Kimmer could have been a national champ last year, might be a national champ this year. Seth Gross did win NCAAs. Chenzo won twice. It's, you don't know where the one guy's not going to pan out. And there's various reasons why it doesn't work out. But I thought that dude had the skills to be really good at Division I. I thought he was super good on his feet. Okay, so I like Drake Ayala a ton as a prospect.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's super good. I love how hard he wrestles. I like he's got really good reattacks. His post left side is really nice. I think he's going to be good. I wonder if size could be an advantage here for Drake, because it's kind of it's a catch.
Really?
Catch weight. Yeah, he's a little bigger than Figueroa, I believe. He's been wrestling up a little more so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so this is at 120, or what weight is this at?
They're weighing in at 125.
So we got plus 2 kilograms, just like USA Wrestling.
Yeah.
That we inspired their bump. Plus 2.
Okay.
Drake just got a little too big this summer, and then was like, I'm not gonna be able to make it. But we really liked the matchup. Thought it was awesome, and Richie was willing to do it. And
that's interesting.
Yeah, he a few years ago, remember Jacob Decatur?
Yes.
Missed weight at Who's Number 1.
No, I don't remember that. That happened?
Yeah, he missed weight.
Wow.
And Willie kind of gave Richie the option. He's like, "What do you want to do here?" And he's like, "I want to wrestle." And it wasn't a great match. But Richie still got it done. So this means a lot to him. Talking to him at Who's Number 1 last year and working on this match with him, it means a lot to him.
Yeah. That's yeah, so I guess Al, then, even if he were to win, you guys would rank him at 126 then, or is that how you do it?
I mean, that's where he's going to wrestle the season at, yeah.
That would make the most sense.
From what I understand, yeah.
Got it.
Dope match. I'm excited for it. And then what was the third one you mentioned, Ben?
Jordan
Williams.
Oh, yeah. Give me your thoughts on this one. I'm excited for this one as well.
Well, okay, so I would say I like Williams' attacks better. He attacks the legs really well. Mendez has got some juice. He's freaking powerful, but he does some dumb stuff sometimes, that's typical of high school kids, right? I think he threw himself to his back multiple times while I was watching. I think he threw himself to his back against
You love it when Mark Schultz does it. Why is it a problem when Jesse Mendez does it?
Well, I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm saying, listen, the guy's gonna take some risks, and maybe
it's great.
He throws
he threw himself to his back.
Right? Maybe he launches Dom Serrano, but then the second time he got put on his back by Dom Serrano, right? So, he's going to go for it. That's what I think is for sure. Whether he's going to be successful when he goes for it or not is kind of up in the air. But he's definitely got some really good power. He's definitely going to go for it. He's got some really explosive stuff. So I think it's going to be one of those things where Williams is going to be a smoother leg attacker, but Mendez is going to go for it at some point in time in the match.
Yeah, I mean, Williams, I think what sticks out, you like his leg attacks. I think his defense is his number one attribute. Jordan Williams is just
so.
Yeah, I think he's really tough to score on. I think he's super flexible. He can do splits and all kinds of tricky defensive stuff when you're on his legs.
He's really good elbow control too.
Yeah, he got elbow control ducks. He'll duck from an overhook. He's really nice there. He's really good at, and this is an area I think could give Mendez problems, is Mendez likes to finish out the back door. Williams is really good at trapping that arm. When a guy goes, he drapes. So I think that could be problematic as well for him. I think I lean Williams here. Also, that's just winning quality he has. They both have it, but his ability to win matches late is really impressive to me.
Iceman.
I mean, he's done it. Well, he did it 3 times at Fargo. He's done it. I saw
Super 32 the one year. It was like 3 matches in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe it was Super 32, not Fargo. I can't recall. But he just wins matches late. I love them both as prospects. I think they're both fantastic. I just think Williams probably has a few more ways to win. I don't know how the mat is going to factor in here, really. And my thought is probably not much at all.
I haven't seen, a lot of the matches of these guys. There's not a lot of places where obviously in season stuff, but again, I don't follow that all that much. Out of season, obviously the best guys are matching up way more frequently in freestyle. So when I'm watching these matches, most of them are in freestyle. I also have no idea how the mat's going to factor in.
Yeah.
I know Hector Mendez, Jesse's dad, tweeted that they wrestled twice in 2015 and split. So this will kind of be their rubber match.
Where at?
Classic 5 years down the line.
2015, they were probably.
I don't know where it was at. It's not on our
Tulsa.
Site. Yeah, it's not on our site, so I don't know.
So are they juniors in high school right now? So they would have been, what's that, 7th grade 5 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I guess depending on when in the year, it could be 6th or 7th grade, depending on when in the year it happened.
Correct. So yeah, 2015. That's a while ago. It's almost surprising 2 active guys don't hit. Although Williams just very recently had a growth spurt. He's been competing.
Yeah.
He was at like 13 last year, 13 or 20.
And I feel like Mendez was close to the same weight for the last 3 years, hasn't he been?
I feel like he's been in that 32, 38 kind of range.
Yeah.
So going to be an exciting one. And then the winner will get Vanderveer, who Mendez split with, beating him at Flow Nats and losing at Super 32, if I'm remembering correctly, which kind of set the pecking order there. And then hopefully someday in the future, not anytime soon, the winner of the 138 3-man group here will face Shane Van Ness. But obviously Shane dealing with the injury, so it'll be a long time before he would be able to do so.
I don't think we talked about either the Crookham Bouzakis match.
Oh, yeah.
Because that happened, I think, Friday as well. Crookham got a little banged up, so that match off the card, and hopefully we'll be able to get that one a little bit down the line later too, because those two it's always awesome when those two wrestle.
Yep. So hopefully we can do that. We're gonna be announcing some more matches we're gonna be putting on that you're gonna find very, very exciting.
You are?
Oh yeah.
You haven't told me.
I'll tell you after the show.
Ooh,
this will be one of those things. Yeah, but you can't tell nobody.
Hey, listen, I've been good. I haven't told anyone anything. I have a steel trap.
Yeah, you just
right here.
Like you said, you just have to tell you up front. Don't tell anyone this, and you won't.
If you don't tell me, don't tell anyone. I'm telling everybody.
Right.
When are we going to tell people the plan for announcing this?
The plan for announcing what, Kyle?
The pre-plan?
The pre-plan.
Well, Friday.
Okay.
Friday's the pre-plan.
Well, Friday I'll be in Austin.
Okay.
Well, but everybody else, keep your eyes peeled on Friday.
To the internet.
A typical
awesome
freaking
Who's Number
Friday
One
news drop.
It's gonna be popping. We're gonna have a busy Friday. It's not gonna be a news dump.
Friday you got Who's Number One press conference. The guys will be getting their gear. They'll be weighing in, all that fun stuff. So you see a lot of cool behind the scenes stuff, and then you get the pre-plan.
It's a great week here at Flow Sports, man. We've got like
the two plan.
Yeah, it's not really a pre-plan. It's just a little tease plan. Get the people excited. People are gonna be surprised. That's what's gonna be the best part of all.
Okay. All right. I'm in.
Okay. All right. You want to go to questions?
Yeah, I think we could probably go to questions.
Why don't you do this, Ben? Before tomorrow, let's have 3 more matches you want to talk about in depth.
Oh, who's number 1?
Yeah, who's number 1? And then we'll.
Man, you're giving me homework, Christian.
Well, it's homework. It's dual homework. It's homework for both of us. I may have already done the homework, but it'll be work all the same. So here's the options: Kylie Welker versus Skylar Hattendorf, Lenny Pinto, Rylan Rogers, Jordan Titus, Dean Peterson, Victor Voinovich, Jagger Condomini, Keontae Hamilton, Chase Horn, Kyle Haas, Nick Feldman, Cody Chittum, Wyatt Henson, Shoemate Piccolo, Sage Mortimer, Mia Palumbo, Gallagher, Mastro, Van Devere versus Williams or Mendez. We won't talk about that. Any of those stick out?
Oh, well, I just watched Van Devere a whole bunch, so I'm curious. I'm definitely curious to watch him wrestle against the other two. That's for sure, because I just watched him wrestle. I think we wrestled Izzy's between my multiple teams. We wrestled Izzy 3 times, so I got to watch him a whole bunch last weekend. So I definitely would like to talk about that one.
Can we do Chittum Henson? I cannot wait for that one.
Sure, we'll do that one for sure, and then we'll figure out one more to watch.
Okay, cool. Cool. All right, exciting stuff. Let's get to some questions. Thank you, friends. A lot of food-related questions. I'm not sure why we all love food here, but I don't know why it came up a lot. Someone asked CJ Kemp, will I interview Eric Hinckley at Senior Nationals? Is he still Spade's electrician? I don't think he was ever Spade's electrician. That was a Tony Rotundo joke, I do believe.
You don't get to talk to him. I'm going to talk to him.
I'm going to talk to Eric Hinckley.
No,
you can't stop me.
No, you're done. You're out of here.
This is a free country. I can talk to Eric, and I would like to think Eric would like to talk to me. I'm not a hater.
I think you should do that.
I'm happy to talk to him. I'll even interview him. I don't care. It would be an honor. So yes, I will. Pops Redfoot. Preference for milkshakes. So thick you need a spoon or actually drinkable? Ben, you love ice cream.
I don't really, you know what? I love ice cream. I don't really love milkshakes. I don't know. Wow. You know, I like it when there's something in it, like, cookies and cream, or, there's this one ice cream place here that's got like, nuts and some chocolate chunks and stuff like that. I like that kind of stuff. So if I'm eating my ice cream, I want something in it. I don't want just like a straight milkshake.
We got to go back to that. Where was that place we went?
That place was good.
It was so good.
I don't recall. I kind of remember where it was. And then there's the Ben and Jerry's. They got some good stuff in theirs. Yeah. I don't like milkshakes. You like milkshakes?
I love milkshakes. I love milkshakes. I also love regular ice cream. And the thick, I'd never understood the ridiculously thick milkshake that you have to eat with a spoon, because that's ice cream. And I'll just get ice cream if I want that. I ordered a drink. I want to drink it through a straw. Mm-hmm. No, I don't want it, obviously we all have limits. I don't want this thing that thin, but a regular milkshake that I can reasonably get from a straw. That's all I ask. If I want something thick, I'll just order ice cream, and I'll do both. I don't care. But don't make me have that kind of a challenge. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, FRL identifies underperforming programs in need of a coaching change. Example, Maryland under McCoy. Which relatively new coaches are doing a good job? Michigan State seems to be trending up. Well, I would agree with that. I think Indiana's headed in the right direction, personally.
Agreed. Is Purdue new enough that we can mention them, or has it been too long?
Purdue's so cliche. We've been out in front of. I feel like Purdue we've been talking about since like 2014. But yes,
no,
definitely Purdue.
How long has Ursuline been there? He hasn't been there 6 years, has he?
He got there in the 14-15 was his first year.
Really? Oh, wow.
I may have just made that up on the spot, but I think it's true.
Okay. Wow, it doesn't feel like that long. I would have guessed 3 or 4 years.
He was hired May 23rd, 2014.
2014.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's been there a little bit.
Okay, that's definitely.
Man, I know he has not wrestled. His team has not wrestled one match, but just look at what happened when Kolat went to Navy. Just their recruiting exploded, right?
So you gotta wait, Christian. He hasn't wrestled a match.
No, I'm not waiting. I'm getting.
Gotta wait. I'm getting
out in front of it. I'm getting out in front of it. You can wait. Wait all you want. I'm not going to.
Oh my god.
Army does a great job too, but they've been doing good.
Yes. He's been there for a while too.
EJ, you're lying. Thicker is not the better for milkshakes.
EJ wants it so hard that you gotta I mean, I did used to drink milkshakes earlier when you it's so thick that you and you can't freaking get it out of the straw because it's so thick. Your neck gets all sore. Come on, bro. You don't want that.
He made the Olympics and he gets sore attempting these milkshakes. Stop being a hardo, EJ Newton. Just kidding. Thanks for listening.
I think South Dakota State, I was really impressed. Damian Hunt, they had a terrible first year, obviously. And then he really turned it around in year 2. I mean, I was kind of impressed by the turnaround.
He's going to be good. They're on their way. What other teams? Oh, I mean, Coach Flynn at West Virginia thought I think they had a really terrible first year.
Terrible first year.
Oh my gosh. But I mean, at the same time, you kind of expect stuff like that. But I think they're on their way, and just having someone as good as Noah Adams come and undefeated.
He went 19-15 to 32-0.
Yeah.
19
is it 30? Now, could this just be the Cody Walters effect? We don't know for sure. Could just be all Cody.
Cody helps. I'm telling you, because they're working out every single day. But yeah, they signed 3 top 100 guys in the class of 2020. They have 3 top 100 guys committed in the class of 2021. So they're getting the thing going in the right direction for sure.
Lockhaven continues to do well. Yeah, I think we hit on quite a few. There's probably some. As I answer more questions, more teams will pop in my head, and I will say them. So just know that. Oh, I think Little Rock, Arizmen, they're a brand new program, but the first year they had, not that they were underperforming at any time because they didn't exist, but they had a really good start.
Yes, I agree with that one. He's doing good.
I mean, we talk about bad first years, but it was very much to be expected. Maryland with Coach Clemson, but that had nothing to do with him. That was what he inherited. But then you look, he's still managed to find momentum on the recruiting trail with 4 top 100 guys in the class of 2021. It's just gonna boost that talent level in that room.
Yeah.
And just if he keeps that up, they're gonna be the Michigan States and the Purdues that we're talking about right now, trending in the right direction and having multiple All-American contenders.
Yeah, that's one of those things that's how do you create that momentum within the program when you are not good? You are not a good team, right? And obviously he has the fallback basically of, hey, it's my first year and this is kind of the guys I inherited. You can start something new, but it's tough. I mean, these kids have options, right? So he must be a good recruiter. Sure, we'll come up with some more names. Okay. Although Maryland's a really good school, and it's in the Big Ten, so it's not like it's a total. I will say this: when Storniolo got the Northwestern job, I was like, how did they not open this up? They just left it to the guy that was there and remained. I think I've said this before, but I will say it again. He's done a really, really good job there, and he's got to be a really good recruiter too. And you look at they've just had some tough breaks with guys leaving and not committing or not following through, but they've been in on the right guys many times, right? They've been in on Cassiope and Micic left, but there's other guys I'm not sure.
That's what happens sometimes when you're really good at maybe finding these guys who at first go under the radar.
Yes.
Beard. and then they kind of, some of these guys recruiting, explodes. They're late in their junior or even early in their senior year, and you get scooped by the Blue Bloods.
Look who took
I freaking Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yeah,
Phil Sanderson.
Mr. Steal Your Verbal, Michael Beard, and so Tom Brands and Cale Sanderson are like, wait, we'll actually take that guy, Coach Storniello, and it just be like that sometimes. Yeah, I think he's done a really nice job.
Someone mentioned Keith Gavin too.
Yeah,
like that was immediate. Like
immediately
when he got there. Yeah.
Well, so how many years has he been there? Because I thought Ursula was only 3 or 4, and he was 6. Keith, this is going to be Keith's 3rd year, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what? I'm laughing, Becky?
No.
When that summer, when all those Oklahoma and Pitt were open, we had so many. This guy's gonna get named the Pitt head coach. Like we had
4 articles ready to go.
4 articles ready to go in. Santoro, Flynn,
Bono.
They were all like on the precipice, and then it ended up being Coach Gavin, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's.
I remember we heard that it was gonna be Gavin, and Christian's like, "Well, I got his number. I'll just call him," and not expecting him to answer.
Yeah, they never answer.
And then he answered, and Christian's like, "Are you getting the pitch job?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he was at Oklahoma, and he was like, "I'm getting ready to talk to the team here," but it was just like, "Okay, yeah, it's happening."
All right,
wow.
There you go. I actually don't remember that. Okay, last week's Metcalf Part 1 had me looking up old high school results, factoring in future accomplishments. Is there a more impressive pair of back-to-back wins than Mike Busilla at 2005 Senior Nationals? Semi-win over John Bones Jones, finals win over Jake Varner.
That bracket was ridiculous, Christian.
Was Max in that?
Max was in there. Craig Brester. I mean, dude, that bracket. Can you guys pull that bracket up somehow right now? I mean, that bracket is really Patrick Bond. I don't know if you guys remember how good he was.
Oh yeah, Virginia baby. He was number 1.
I think he was number 1 seed. Yeah, I mean that bracket was real. Max beat Johnny Bones Jones for 3rd place. Busilla beat Varner in the finals. That bracket was really good. I think Max lost to Varner in the semi on the one side. That bracket was really, really good.
All right, I got him. Hold up. Metcalf beat Schlater there.
Yes.
Here we go. Jay Borschel.
Got 189 up.
What? It only goes to 171.
What?
Hold on.
Come on, this is crap. Someone send the link on the chat. Something.
Yeah. Here's 189, but it doesn't have the completed bracket.
We'll just read some of the names off there.
All right, I got Jake Varner.
What year was this?
2005 Max. Yeah, no one else. Corey Morrison, I remember him. Yeah, the names aren't really there. It's not all of them. I don't know what happened.
What do you mean?
Man, you just have to look at this thing. I don't know what to tell you. I'll send you the bracket. You make sense of it.
Huh.
Funky one.
We need to facilities to send us a screenshot of his bracket.
Yeah, please do. All right. Well, loaded bracket.
I want to find it too. Now I want to find it. I'm curious that it's NHSCA, correct?
Yes. Senior Nationals.
2005. The heck? Where do we find this?
I texted you a portion of the bracket, but it's not all there.
Okay, hold on. Internet's got an article about it. Let's see. Okay, so 145 was really good. You got Mike Busilla, Jake Varner, Louis Caputo. I don't remember him. He was really
Harvard.
good. Trevor Perry was good. Levi Wolford was all right. Taylor Moore was really good, but he didn't really pan out in college. He was at Cornell, started for a while. Man, I know. See, they don't even have Craig Brester listed. I'm almost 100% sure Craig Brester was in the bracket somewhere also.
He was really good. But I thought the thing with Craig was he was like super under the radar recruit. But if he was like that legit then.
Well, no, I'm saying I don't believe he placed or anything, but he was in the bracket, and obviously he would go on to have a lot of success.
Yeah.
Later.
How about this? In 2005, Parkersburg High School had 2 champions.
Brandon Rader
and Chance Litton. Pretty sure he beat Chance beat one of the Iowa guys, maybe Ketty in the finals.
Oh, so he's
Sounds
big.
about right.
Yeah.
Dang. Okie doke.
Man. Hey, listen, I sent you guys a picture of this, and I meant to bring this up. Henry Cejudo posted a picture last night and then deleted it, but Stevan Micic was in the picture. How do you guys feel about that? He deleted it? That's what somebody. Yeah, I can't find it anymore.
Well, it was an Instagram story. They go away. Yeah, they go away after 24 hours. Oh my God.
Listen, I only love Twitter. That's the only thing I love. I don't really know anything about anything else.
I'm explaining the internet to Ben Askren.
I don't use Instagram. What do you want? I only use Twitter. I love Twitter, and that's it.
I only use Twitter and the blockchain. That's it. Those are the only technologies.
Man,
I'm forced to use Instagram because I have a large following, but I don't like to use it.
Oh, poor Ben.
Listen, Instagram people are the dumbest. You try to read the comments on there, your IQ goes down like 10 points immediately.
I think Twitter's worse now.
No. Yeah, right. Take it back.
Sorry. Twitter is much angrier. I'll say that. It's angrier. Instagram's less mature, but it's more like you can dismiss it as stupid. Twitter is like angst and angry people with real issues, deep-seated problems.
Yeah.
That's my current read,
true.
anyways. All right.
What do you make of that? You make anything of it? Just visiting or what?
No, I think he's training there. I don't know. I don't think he's like left Michigan. I don't know what the deal is, but yeah, I think he's been there wrestling. I don't know what the connection is exactly. I know that when Stevan was considering transferring from Northwestern, he looked at Arizona State. Obviously, it's very different now. Mark Perry's there, but I don't know what to make of it. Other than I think he'll be back at Michigan when the time's right. I think he's probably just training somewhere else for a little bit. Well, I thought. I don't know. He can't transfer again, though. I don't think.
Not. Well, what if he's a graduate?
Oh yeah, he should be a graduate.
He's got to be a graduate. College for like 9 years. Got to be a graduate.
He's got to. Just got to. Okie doke. All right. Next question. Before we get the heck out of here, Kyle kind of already alluded to this, but Jesse Mendez already has 2 matches. Who's number 1? He wrestles through Van Ness. They'll put him at 5 matches with another possible match next year. Will they get the unbreakable record for most matches at Who's Number 1?
I think you would have the most having wrestled the 4-man.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
Really, there's almost like 2 separate categories. If you're in brackets, it's just different than if you're like Richie Figueroa. There's no opportunity for that. But yeah, he will have that option, and I would dare say he'll be in the top 2 next year, just based on how his career's gone. The fact that he's been there as a sophomore. Which other recently retired guys would you have liked to have seen in the 8-man bracket? And this guy tagged Herbert, Ed Ruth, Chris Perry. Herbert would not give up trick-or-treating, he said. So we just need to have it not on Halloween, which is a very Jake Herbert answer.
We could just, have like 3 hotel rooms in a row, have candy. He'd knock, he'd get his trick-or-treating in, and then he could go wrestle after that.
Yes.
So, yeah, that could happen. Ed Ruth, I don't know how much he's been wrestling. So like, Gabe Dean and Keith Gavin, they're in a college wrestling room every single day, and I'm sure they're not scrapping every day, and I'm sure they're not scrapping as if they were competitive, but they're still there. Ed Ruth, I don't know. I don't think he's been in a college wrestling room very frequently, so that one doesn't excite me nearly as much.
Yeah, and I think we saw with Ed, just from when he went from Penn State to Arizona State, there was a drop-off there, and he was a little less focused. Now he's way less focused. I think he could come in and he would beat the Sammy Brooks, the Nate Jacksons, and the
right now as is.
I think he'd beat Sammy, Nate. I think he'd beat Taylor Lujan and Drew Foster. But I think it's the Miles Martin, Gabe Dean, Keith Gavin that maybe a different. I mean, shoot, Gabe Dean beat him literally in college when he was at the height of his powers, and then he had a pretty close match with him at NCAAs as well. So, yes, him being and also Ed is like small now. He's at 170. Too. So. Not that he was a guy that won on horsepower, but that would not help.
Yeah. So if Ed hasn't been training, and I don't really feel like he's been training, I think he would struggle to beat any of these dudes. I mean, really? Now if you tell me he's been wrestling 3 days a week, right? Something. If you tell me he's been wrestling, a little bit, my opinion would change. if you tell me he hasn't really been wrestling at all against anyone good, I think he's going to struggle. Yeah, I mean, if it's been years since he's really been like in there with competitive guys, yeah, I think he would.
I get why you would reach that conclusion. 2, man, I watched Darion Caldwell kind of give Luke Pletcher a match in his first match in how many years was it? Since like 2012 or something crazy. So I don't know. I
guess Darion wasn't training at all either, was he?
At all. I mean, no more than Ed is. I mean, he's doing wrestling practice the way an MMA guy has wrestling practice.
Yeah.
I just think guys like that, they just kind of have it forever a little bit. And they'll never be, and it is not the height of their powers, but they're going to just be on a level, I think, as long as they're in their athletic prime. And even though Ed was a really timing-based wrestler, like the timing of his shots was just ridiculous, and you were one of the people that said that was when that went away, that was really tough to get back and a huge disadvantage. But I still feel it's just how good he was. I don't think he drops below all of those guys.
Okay.
But I'm a big Ed Ruth guy.
Now you got me wanting to see it because, Ed Ruth at the height of his powers was, Ed Ruth at the height of his powers, I pick him and, him and Gavin or him and Gabe, as the top 2. But, yeah, I guess I'm curious to see how much he's dropped off.
Yes. And, this is a guy, he made a world team right out of college. He could have been a real freestyle star if he had stuck with it. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, hey, it's 9:39, deep in the Hard Texas bracket. Do you have anything else for us?
Kozak found the 2005 NHSCA brackets.
Really?
He tweeted them to us.
Chat?
He tweeted them to us.
He tweeted it. He put it in his Instagram story. So you have 24 hours.
He tagged us?
I'm sure he probably did.
Yeah, you got tagged.
Is that how Instagram stories work? Okay. Damn it. But okay. Oh, I found it. Nice.
All right, let's close with that. Good job by him.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna look at this damn bracket and talk
about it. That's what I'm saying. Let's pull it up before we go.
Also, it was Phil Ketty that Chance let him beat.
Phil Ketty. Was that Brent Jones in there? He was really good.
These brackets are big. All right, because this would be, I'll be able to remember some of these guys who didn't turn. Yeah, Taylor Moore was really good. Didn't really turn out in in college, but in high school he was really good. Let's see who else we got in here. Hudson Taylor, that's a big one that we got. Max beat him in the quarters. Obviously, he had a really good college career, really tough
time
guy.
AA.
Yep. Okay, so Louis Caputo was good. Jake Cranford wrestled at Arizona State. He was really tough. He lost to Caputo first round, 7-6. Then you got John Jones in there. John Jones made the semis and lost to Mike Pasillo. Who else? You got Patrick Bond. Patrick Bond lost to John Jones. What's that, second round? Round of 16 or whatever. Wow.
Yes.
That was good.
This is a fire bracket. My gracious.
So I lied. I guess Craig Brester was not in this bracket because then you got Pasillo on he's the bottom, and he beat Trevor Ward. I'm sorry, Mike Ward in the round of 16 and beat John Jones 4-3 in the semis.
Brester DMP'd at 71.
Oh, okay. So he's the weight class below.
Yes.
I want to say Max beat Bond on the backside. No, he didn't. Where did Bond didn't place in this bracket?
No, he was probably the number one guy coming into this tournament too.
Yes. Who the hell's Sorensen that he lost to? I don't know this dude.
It's not Andrew Sorensen, is it? I have no idea. From Wyoming, Dakota.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That was a really good bracket right there. Wow.
Holy smokes.
Trip down memory lane.
Thank you, John Kozak. Thank you, Ben, for stoking those memories. We'll be back tomorrow. That's Wednesday. We're going to talk more about who's number one. Other news is probably going to happen. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. It's coming back in full force.
It's a great time to be a Lehigh wrestling fan.
It's a great day. That's Andrew Spay's dad. Posts on the forums, and instead of you can have like a forum signature, he just types the words, "It's a great day to be a Lehigh wrestling fan" at the end of all of them, which I think is awesome. So anyways, for all the Lehigh wrestling fans that are out there, and even if you're not, you can still have a great day. Have a great day. Happy Tuesday. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.